Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
They have acquired Eric Johnson and Fernando Tatis Jr. from the White Sox in exchange for James Shield.
Welcome to Slam Diego.
My name is James,
My name is Joey.
and this is the Brothers Padre.
James. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
How was your Thanksgiving?
I'm filled up. All filled up. Stuffed, as they say.
I know I'm asking you this question, not that I didn't spend half of Thanksgiving with you.
No. Oh, you were there too?
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yes, James, we haven't recorded in a bit. It's been a week since we last recorded. And we have some Padres news to talk about, James.
Some trades happening, some legal disputes, all kinds of stuff.
So the first item on Padres news is that we made a trade, James.
Yes, we did.
The San Diego Padres have traded Adam Frazier to Seattle Mariners. I'm pulling up the names of the prospects we got back now, and I promise I will butcher at least one of their names. So,
We are well prepared here.
Ray Kerr and Corey Rossier. You know, I did have it prepared, and then I went to Twitter and I browsed something else on Twitter, and I had to go back to that page. So,
Okay.
not very well prepared.
Yeah.
So Ray Kerr is a big lefty reliever who was in the Seattle Mariners system, and Corey Rossier is an outfielder. Some scouts say that Corey Rossier was basically like outside the top 100 of the Mariners system, but had a really good couple outings in Arizona Fall League. So people were like, oh, he actually could potential breakout. And then Kerr, people say, has this big lefty reliever, power pitcher in the mold of Josh Hader and Aroldis Chapman.
Hopefully more like Hader than Chapman.
What are your thoughts about this, James? Mr. Adam Frazier's gone. What are your thoughts?
I am really bummed because, as you know, I was getting my full back tattoo of Adam Frazier.
Yeah, I mean, you had the artist give you the mocks of it, you know.
And they were starting to do the outline already, so now I have this outline of some random baseball player. So
Yeah.
I understand why we traded him.
Yeah.
The same reason why it didn't make any sense why we got him. We have an abundance of infielders. I like Adam Frazier. I think he's a real gamer. I think his style of play is so rare right now in baseball, where you just get on base. Don't worry about the power numbers. Take walks, get hits. It's so in the mold of Tony Gwynn 80s hitting, but very effective. And I think the Mariners, we've said this off air, but the Mariners are going for it.
Yeah, they should. You know, I think Adam Frazier had a horrible second half of the Padres, but
Who didn't?
which Padre did not have a horrible second half? I don't know what I think. So we'll save $7 million in payroll because he's owed $7 million next year. And I don't know, man. I feel like that's probably a good thing if it means that we'll sign more people or we'll get rid of more people. You're absolutely right, though. Like, we were already a stacked infield. He was not a great left fielder. He was an all-star, but had a bad second half. And, you know, our new pitching coordinator was from the AAA system of the Seattle Mariners. Spoke highly of Kerr. And so, you know, maybe it'll work out because they say he's major league ready. So he'll be in the bullpen most likely next year as a power lefty relief pitcher.
And that's awesome. And like I said, I'm not unhappy with who we got. We rebuilt our farm system a little bit. We got another outfielder because we all know our outfield is going to be problematic in a couple of years. It's problematic right now unless we get somebody to fill left field. The only thing is, You and I hinted maybe we're going to keep Frazier, get rid of Hosmer, and Cronenworth would move to first.
Right.
That's obviously not going to happen now.
Well, I don't know why you think that. It could still happen.
Just without Frazier.
Just without Frazier.
Yeah.
Well, it would just mean Kim would play every day.
And that's not a bad thing. He's the best defensive infielder in baseball.
Right. Yeah, it definitely makes it seem like Hosmer's around still.
Yes.
However, crazier things have happened, Flexibility in payroll may mean another frontline starter. It may mean other things as well. Because JJ Preller said basically it'd give us flexibility, not just for now, for the next 5 years. So we'll see, I would love to see a world in which our infield has 4 people on it that all can field.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It would be fantastic.
That'd be super cool. I don't know. I think, I'm not Catholic, but I feel like I need to go to confession when I talk so badly about Eric Hosmer. I feel like I talk so much crap against them.
Well, as you know, I was on the Coach John Contreras show a week ago.
Yeah. I actually know that. But yeah, I did know that. Totally knew that.
Totally knew that. I was a guest. Not really. I called in.
Yeah.
But I asked him, because he helps. For those of you who don't know, Coach John Contreras is a radio personality / baseball trainer, and he helps players all around the league get in mental shape for playing the game. And he thinks Hosmer's most of his problems is mental, and then he said the same thing we've said, is that he gets in so many weird spots when he's fielding a ball, like when someone's throwing him when Tatis is throwing him something from short, he stands behind the base to catch it. Like, no other first baseman in the league does that. Why does he keep doing that? He thinks it's all mental for him, and I don't know if he can turn it around or not. I wish he can. I hope he can. If we're gonna keep him, he just something has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen. My expectation for this offseason now is I want a good infield. That's what I want, James. Okay, that's my expectation. I mean, maybe Eric Hosmer sees an exorcist to get rid of all these bad first base demons.
The power of Christ prevails you.
Like maybe, I mean, whatever. He needs to go in the angelic forces to help him somehow win 4 Gold Gloves.
I've looked online. I've seen the stat. It says 4 Gold Gloves.
I just don't get it. I've never seen a Gold Glove caliber first baseman out of Eric Hosmer, nor have I seen a first baseman that deserves to be paid that much money and be that bad at the plate.
Nor have I.
I know. So.
It's different if it was, say, an Albert Pujols situation where he still brings ticket sales in.
Right. I don't know. So I think if this move helps make us have a good infield, and it means maybe like $3 million is paid to the first base sensei to come down from the mountain to help Eric Hosmer, maybe that's okay. I don't know.
Let's call JT Snow.
Yeah.
So I'll get, I don't know, all the best defensive first base I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Help him out.
Yeah.
Help him out. But all in all, I'll tell you the worst part about this Adam Frazier trade is.
What?
The listeners of the show might not know this, but we've mentioned a few times, our mom is from the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
And we have lots of family members that live up there that think the Mariners are the best team in baseball. And it seems like the Mariners have gotten a lot of Padres over the years.
Yeah.
And if they win the World Series before we do,
it'll be horrible for us.
Awful. Might just have to move to a different country.
It would be awful. Yeah, I mean, Ty France, Adam Frazier.
Because every time we trade somebody over there, they make a career turn and become the best player they can be. And every player we get from them hits 24 batters or breaks his knee every 6 days.
It's just so funny that Austin Adams hit that many people.
So, did you watch that video about how he's hit as many people as hits he's given up?
It's incredible.
You're just as likely to get hit or to get a hit.
Incredible.
It's incredible. But if he can become 20% better, he'd be the best closer in baseball.
Incredible. He's really awesome, but he hits a lot of people.
It's so evil. Oh man. Well, I will say though, if the Mariners and the Padres ever meet in the World Series, that might be the end of a lot of our family relationships.
No, it'd be bad.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that we might not have to talk to them ever again, but
wow.
We love you guys up there.
That's hilarious. James, we have another topic we must discuss.
Serious legal matter.
Speaking of infielders, do you familiar with the first major signing of this era of the Padres? Are you familiar with this man?
Yes.
Who also played first base at some point? Yeah. I'm, of course, talking about Wil Myers.
Before we get into this, because we're going to talk about legal issue, the views of the host did not. I don't know how the whole. We don't sue us.
Yeah, don't sue us.
There's been a lot of lawsuits happening.
So this is the funniest story I've read.
It really is.
So, because it's like the most 1% problem you will ever read. So I'm going to set it up. Wil Myers, our William Bradford Myers. He lives in North Carolina. We all know this. He famously said East Coast Mexican food was better than West Coast Mexican food, much to the chagrin and anger of Padres fans. And he says, well, Charlotte has some good Mexican food and whatever. That's how we all know he lives in Charlotte. But anyways.
Because his locker was bombarded with tacos.
So last year he had a decent payday, $15 to $20 million, right? He's doing fine. Wil Myers is doing great.
He's doing great. His wife's doing great. His kids are doing great.
April 2020, I should say that Wil Myers has found himself in a brouhaha, an expensive brouhaha. I'm just setting the table as to what the brouhaha is.
Okay.
In April 2020, James, Myers and his wife Margaret joined the Carmel Country Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is not like a kind of country club you rent out to like have a birthday party in. Not one of those country clubs. The fee is there's an $80,000 initiation fee. And they required $16,000 of that basically before at the very beginning.
A down payment,
so to speak. So, according to the Charlotte country club named the Carmel Country Club in Charlotte, North Carolina, like saying those words. Like, don't you think of mahogany and like the stuffiest of rooms?
I don't want to. I feel like when this place was built, it was legal to own other people.
Oh yeah, 100%. Reeks of racism. If the walls could talk, it would be arrested. So,
rioters, next time you want to burn something down, go for the country clubs.
Yeah. So, April 2020, James, are you familiar with what happened around then?
If I remember correctly,
yeah,
my retail store I was working at was inexplicably crazy busy for no reason.
People were hoarding toilet paper, paper towels. No one knew why, really.
Yeah.
Some meme on the internet these days, they say.
Yeah.
Anyways, COVID happened, and so Myers and his wife couldn't get tea times. And James, why is that?
Well, because outdoor activities became hugely successful.
Yep.
As somebody that did parking lot comedy, I can tell you that was more successful than it had any right to be because it was in a parking lot and we were doing comedy.
Listen, people were laughing without drinks
This is true.
in a parking lot. They were tough times.
It was very tough times. It was a fun experience. I'm glad I was a part of it. But much like outdoor activity, tennis became hugely successful. Costco, we were selling out of tennis balls people were buying pallets of tennis balls because so many people were playing tennis. Surfboards, you couldn't buy a surfboard anywhere because people are going outside and surf. Same thing with golf. Everyone was golfing because golf is a bit elitist and is built-in social distancing of
Right.
Keep the riffraff riffing over there and we play golf.
So the club, Wil Myers apparently never paid the remainder of $64,000. Club's like, hey, we need that $64,000. And then Wil Myers countersues for $150,000
So they sued Myers for $64,000
because they want the rest of the fee.
and Wil Myers sued for $140,000,
$150,000.
because he never got, even though he paid all that money, he never got any tee times.
He sued Carmel, which is the Carmel Country Club in Charlotte, North Carolina, where if you walk through it and you have a net worth sub million, you're shot on the spot. Like you're just killed.
Kill the poor! Kill the poor!
He sued them saying for knowing misrepresentations and omissions after being told that when he joined there'd be plentiful tee times available in the club's 2 courses, despite the sports booming at the time due to socially distant nature, basically saying, hey, you said there'd be plentiful tee times.
There's there's no way one of those courses isn't named after a Confederate general, right?
No, like one is like Robert E. Lee's course.
Definitely.
Right.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, North Carolina people. We're
Yeah. Listen, this is a bit.
this is a bit.
But maybe some bits are based in reality. You know?
Some bits are based in reality.
Carmel rejected the Myers allegations set apart in the countersuit. You know what they said? That the pandemic immediately and overwhelmingly altered the lifestyle and available leisure activities for all members of the club, and that they must honor the original initiation fee and give them the $64,000. Man, oh man, Gene.
And Wil Myers countered with, at nowhere in my original contract and negotiations said anything about a global pandemic and or act of God keeping me from this exclusive club.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I need to know who wins, the stuffiest country club in America or guy with a lot of money. You know, it's a real
So
David and Goliath story. Who's David in this story?
I don't know. My question is,
Yeah, I have lots of questions.
do you think that's why Wil Myers didn't do so well this season?
Oh, my goodness.
When people go through legal problems, they tend to struggle.
No, this is you got it backwards. He wasn't able to golf in 2020. And what was a better year, 2021 or 2020?
2020. He can't golf ever again.
He can never golf again.
He needs to only swing one stick, and that's a bat.
Yeah.
Listen, Wil Myers, we're begging you. Yeah. From the bottom of our Padre hearts,
Yeah.
give up the sport of golf, at least until you're older and you're retired, and stop giving money to plantation owners.
As we said at the top of the episode, the views expressed by the podcast hosts are their own and are often used for comedy. So please don't sue us. Please don't.
Exactly. And Wil Myers, please come on our podcast.
Come on our podcast.
We want up to dates about this.
Yeah,
sport.
I need to know the details. Like, James, have you ever been so duressed by a fun activity that you're like, you owe me $150,000? Have you ever been like, oh, I can't do that fun thing, so I almost want double the amount that I paid you, could have paid you back to me because that's how duressed I am. Have you ever been that way before?
I have not.
It's like suing the movie theater for like buy a movie ticket for twice movie ticket. That doesn't make sense. Or like buying a CD would be like, I need double
Now-
CD back.
So, speaking of movie theater, way back in the day when I was a much younger person, I worked in a movie theater.
Yeah.
And one of my many jobs there was to preview the movies the night before they came out to make sure there's nothing wrong with the reels and stuff like that.
Right.
And I had to watch my super ex-girlfriend 3 times in one night. And I could have sued for $150,000 for that.
Yeah, I mean, that
was pure mental torture.
but the amount of gall you have to say, no, you owe me $150,000 because I could not, with a titanium steel rod, hit a tiny ball through 18 holes.
I, who get paid a king's ransom to play a children's sport, can't play a teenager sport.
Listen, Wil Myers, you could, I don't know your situation. Maybe he does. Maybe he found out. Maybe he uncovered a plot for them to continue the racism.
Oh, that's totally it. He's trying to expose them.
And they're like,
He's
no.
totally John Grishaming them.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Trent Grisham him.
John Grisham writes.
I said Trent Grisham because,
I know, but
yeah, well,
whatever.
not all bits work.
Not all bits work.
So, yeah, he uncovered the plot, the ultra racist plot in the Charlotte Carmel Country Club. The country club I forget the name of it now. The super racist one in Charlotte, North Carolina. He found out a way. He found out, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna expose them. And they're now coming after him, but he's like, no, in my lawsuit, I'm gonna expose you. That's what's happening, James. He's a superhero.
I can already see this movie right now. It'll be directed by Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah.
Ben Affleck will play Wil Myers' lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Who would play Wil Myers though? I mean, it would have to be somebody weird like Adam Driver.
Oh yeah, Adam Driver.
It'd definitely be Adam Driver.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Adam Driver. Yeah.
Oh, I want to see this movie so badly now. Oh, way to go, Wil Myers. Stick it to the man. You're doing the Lord's work, sir. You're doing the Lord's work. Oh. So, let's change topics a bit.
We'll provide updates as this is obviously the most important Padres story of the year.
If not the decade.
If not the decade.
Like, Tatis we traded for Tatis.
Whatever.
Pales in comparison.
We need to know who makes this money back. We need to know. We need to know, decades, centuries of racism needs to end.
Yeah.
Wil Myers is the guy to do it.
Wil Myers is the guy to do it. You go, Wil Myers. You are our hero.
That went totally someplace I did not think it was going to go, but it went there. So.
It went there. Oh, we don't rehearse at all. But I did rehearse this next bit, Joey.
Okay, I'm ready.
So earlier today, I took there was a little Twitter thing. Mm-hmm. When they say, the month you're born in is something and the day of the month is something else.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
So it's the month you're born in is the Padre, and then the day of the day you're born is the occupation you do for that Padre.
Yeah.
Like it's personal trainer, drinking buddy.
Right.
So you and I have one more thing in common.
That's true.
We share the same day, not the month, but we share the same day of the month we were born in.
Right.
So I, according to this thing, am Jake Cronenworth's personal human resource.
Right.
And like media expert guy. Spokesperson. That's the word I'm looking for. I wrote it down and everything. I'm Jake Cronenworth's spokesperson. That means you are Fernando Tatis spokesperson.
Yeah. One of us have a more exciting job, that's for sure.
It's Crone Zone. So I have a question.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want to I want to give you a question.
Okay.
And only the spokesperson for Fernando Tatis can answer.
Okay.
And then I want you to answer me a question. So, I'm Theodore Cassette from the Times.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Got it. Yeah.
So what do you say that Fernando Tatis Jr. didn't win the MVP because of the lack of, I don't know, all of his social media and awareness in the human public eye?
I'm supposed to answer as me, the spokesperson, because the real spokesperson answer is this: is like, we think that Fernando Tatis Jr. does an incredible job reaching out to fans, social media. He has active presence, over a million followers on both Twitter and Instagram. That does not affect his MVP candidacy whatsoever. It is because it is up to the Writers Association of Baseball Writers Association to pick who they deem worthy. It's an honor to be the top 5 2 years in a row. Being so young, he has his whole future ahead of him to become an MVP. That's like the real spokesperson answer.
Yeah, I was saying, wow, why Tatis? You listen to this?
Yeah.
Hire my brother.
Hell,
immediately.
I would say this is like, Tatis is way, I can't swear, but just beep this out, like way cooler than any of those people on social media. Like,
oh yeah,
like he may not like. The guy doesn't need social media. It's not the most valuable social media person, but if it was, it still would be Tatis, right? Like Tatis is per game had more. Like if you had WAR divided by games played, he's more he contributes more to his WAR than any of those players. Dude is more valuable per game than any of his players. You
know how I would answer that question if I was Tatis?
Yeah.
If I had that great job, I would say, this is clearly another example of the sports writers being too old for their sport. Clearly, none of them have children. They're all too old to have children. Because if any of these people had sons or daughters, they would know that Tatis Jr. is the icon of the sport right now. There is nobody dressing up as Bryce Harper other than maybe in Philadelphia. Everywhere you go, there were kids dressing up as Fernando Tatis Jr., everywhere, all across the country and world. And I would say this is another example why the writers, whatever Sports Writers Association needs to be a changing of the guard.
Got it. I would also it'd be a pretty tough job though to be a spokesperson for him. I think so, because like he doesn't really need it would probably be it would be tough because you always have to justify your own existence, because he's not afraid to talk to the media, and he also isn't afraid to be himself. You're like, what do I do? I guess I gotta just make press releases from time to time and make sure his Petco ad tweets are good.
Exactly.
I guess. So now I'm supposed to ask you a question of Jake Cronenworth. That's how
yeah.
it works. Okay. Hey Jake.
I'm not Jake. I'm James. I'm his person. I'm his.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you're in this scenario. There's a series of press people in front of a spokesperson. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the liege of the person? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I can't believe you haven't gotten on this already.
I'm just setting the scene.
Okay.
I'm a method actor, so I gotta get into it a little bit.
Go hit your head against the wall a few times.
Yeah.
Go get drunk.
James,
pretend to be a writer.
Hey James, I'm trying to get your attention.
Yes.
Yeah. Joey from the State Union Tribune. We don't have editors. Someone please hire us an editor. I'm kidding, Kevin AC. I have a question. Do you think that your experience in the University of Michigan baseball program helped at all in you becoming and Jake becoming a good athlete?
Well, I can only, and having not gone to University of Michigan, but having known Jake Cronenworth's passion for this hollowed franchise and college, I can only say, of course it did, because anyone who knows Jake Cronenworth knows the University of Michigan is the greatest collegiate athletic sports program in the world. Just ask other alums like Rich Eisen, and that's the only one I know.
Tom Brady,
Tom
Harbaugh, whatever.
Tom Brady plays a different sport I don't care about.
Follow-up question. When you're making out with a girl, when Jake's making out with someone, does he say you're now entering the crone zone?
No, but he does ask the woman not to say it. Jake Crowworth is a constant gentleman. And I am appalled that you would ask such a question. That was stupid.
The episode went to shit real bad. Okay. Not a lot of Padres news, huh?
No, not a lot.
Well, James, anything else to add?
No, I'm looking forward to the now movie franchise of Wil Myers' fight against racism.
I mean, obvious. It's obvious.
And you and I will probably get calls soon to become the spokesperson for these athletes. That's obvious, right?
Yeah. We gave exemplary answers.
Exactly.
That could not be construed as anything bad.
Yeah. They'd be fooled not to hire us.
James, we're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. You're probably listening to us on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all our new subscribers. Welcome. We normally do 2 episodes a week. They're the regular season. It's not the regular season, the off season. So we're just doing once a week episodes. We have some fun stuff here and there to fill in the off season. We'll keep whenever major news happens with Padres, we'll come in and talk about it. We'll have some emergency episodes for sure. Preller's going to make some moves, and we'll talk about it. But thank you for your continued listenership. And until next time, James, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star on that, baby!